So today we're going to be looking at what is Doom the Dark Ages, and we have to thank Bethesda for gifting us a code so we can play the game, check it out, see what we feel about it, and make some content on it. So I've had the game, this is being recorded on the 13th of May 2025, and this was, the game goes live at 1 AM, it's like past 12 right now, so it's 45 minutes for early access players, and then it goes live on the 15th of May. Now, I was fortunate enough to be able to play this early, and I have got about halfway through the game. So I feel like I've got a good grasp on what this game is, what it has to offer for the individual who is looking to find out what this game is. Does it appeal to you? Do you want more Doom? Do you not? And so on. But yeah, the main thing I will say straight away is performance has been amazing. I have had zero issues with performance. I am running on a 4070, very high-end Ryzen chip as well, but I'm not like blasting through this graphically. But we'll go over them in a second. So the game itself, like, was quite interesting for me because I didn't actually really enjoy Doom Eternal too much. Doom 2016 was really good. I really enjoyed that. It hit all the right boxes for me. It was run and gun, shooting, graphics were great, soundtrack was great, and it was just a bit of a all-round masterclass of what you want a modern Doom game to be. Eternals, in my opinion, was very convoluted in its abilities. I think it tried to do too many things at once. When it started adding, right, so you want to do a grenade, so you need to press left bumper and left on the D-pad, and right trigger and right on the D-pad. Like, it's too much. This is not a game that, lends itself well to it, or at least I feel that it didn't. I think that a certain amount of abilities are good. And the one thing they've done in this game is they have streamlined it much better. So, coming in with a general overview of the game, straight off the bat, do I enjoy this so far more than Eternal? Yes. But, let's have a look. So, I am straight away playing on PC, as I said, and we have the Premium Edition, and it comes with a load of extras, but we'll have a look at them in a minute. The one thing this game has, or at least id Software has done, and I found they've done this the last few years with their Doom games, and it's always well appreciated, is the amount of options you have, be it accessibility, graphical, or gameplay. There are so many different things you can change, like daze highlight, parry circle. The parry circle you can, like, that's just the actual on-screen prompt. But just you can turn off, you can customize it as much as you want. There's not sprint, auto sprint, which there is an actual sprint in this. I've got it off, and I like to be in more control of how I'm playing. Auto switch weapons, weapon bob, like these, the weapon bob, like stuff like that, I just turned it straight off. But even like you can recolor what the parry marker is, and the environmental screen shake, and just like there's a lot of different, like you can see how many colors you can actually change if you so choose. I have not felt the need to. I wanted to play it, see how I felt about it, and I've never come back to this menu to go, I want to change anything. HUD. Now, the HUD, the amount of stuff that you can change. I love the fact that you have a font scale, because some games, just because like I'm playing on a 4K monitor, and it just makes the text so small, so I could adjust it if I want. It's been fine. So, it's done quite well. This is a nice touch, though. Face avatars. You can actually change the avatar to just be off. The Doom Dark Ages 1 or the classic, and I've actually had the classic on the whole time. And it's just the little details that really make the difference of just that. Like, it's not... Nostalgia really kicks in. I was a big player of Doom 1 and 2. Doom 2 is one of my top games of all time. Nostalgia withholding. So, it's nice that these things are forced about, added in, and there's a little bit of care and love that's gone into it. But yeah, you can customize that again. Look at how much customization there is, and the fact that it has an image to go with it as well. Accessibility is such a massive thing these days, and they've done a really good job of it. I haven't really found anything that I've really had to complain about in that sense. If I wanted to add, like, I've not found anything I've wanted for. Now, other people might find something, but I haven't as of yet. You know, even like reticle style, you can change it to a dot. Subtitles, you can again scale these up, change the colors, the background colors. Great stuff. Audio, pretty much the same as most games, you know, voice, sound effects, music master. Nothing crazy, nothing that I've had to adjust. You can mix up the options for whatever you're playing on, the headphones, speakers. I've just had it off. Again, I've rarely had to come back and check any of this. So, I'm not even going to mess around with it. Lots of mouse customizations as well, controller as well. I've been playing on controller on PC because these Doom games have lent themselves more to that for me. I was an old Xbox player. Now I don't have an Xbox, but I've got a good PC, so it will do. Yeah, lots of options, and even from like they've got options for everything in what you can use. Turrets, you get to fly a dragon in this game. An Atlan is a mech, so you can change the controls for that. You can make it as personalized as you want. It's really good. Graphics have been great. 60 FPS monitor, so I haven't been going over that, but I've been playing at 4K, and all round everything's been great. One thing that I did find that was quite interesting was, because I went DLSS balanced again, so much customization options. Could probably, I never actually checked what like the FPS and computer usage has been since I've been playing. I've never felt the need to, but lots of different options there as well. HDR as well, we've got that on. Now, this was one that I actually found quite interesting. I absolutely despise motion blur. It makes me feel sick. I hate it, and I think there is a majority of people who would turn it off. The difference here is they've given us options. So you've got on and cinematic only, but you've got motion blur amount and motion blur quality. The fact that it goes to Ultra Nightmare sounds exactly like my nightmare. But there's lots of different options there, which is probably the most customizable I've seen of this in any game. And it still goes off for me. But the fact that the option's there, wonderful. Yeah, and then you've got, like, you know, different qualities. Like, I haven't gone too mad on these. Like, I could probably turn this up a bit, but we'll see what the usage is. But yeah, I kept everything at medium. I wanted to go with the 4K, go at medium. And again, the graphics have been really good. I've not felt any need to turn anything up. So, it's been pretty good. And then even here, you've got, like, I turned off the environmental screen shake. And little things like you can just toggle if the shield actually like seeks out enemies. Auto aim, kind of play with it. Parry, recolor it. And maybe that one's different. I don't know. I haven't looked into these that much. Weapon bob, I turned that off as well. I get the smoothest gameplay I can get. Yeah, and there's lots of different options. It's really, really well done. One thing that you do get as well, if you pre-order, you have there are loads of collectibles in the game. Weapon skins, and skins for each of what you're using, which is quite funny, because I don't ever recall actually being able to see the Atlan, like, from third person, because it's first person, so it's like, it feels like a bit of a irrelevant skin, but again, a nice touch. And there was the Slayer skin, so it came with the default, Void, Divinity. I don't know if I unlocked that. I think that just came with it, but I did go for this one. So I've been playing that one. But as you go through the game, there are a ton of collectibles. They have done an amazing job with collectibles. Same as they've done in the other ones. So there's plenty of replayability and like, for those that want to go out and do it. A lot of the achievements are tied to maxing out your skills and also collecting everything. Weapons have even got skins as well. As you can see, I have a few of them unlocked. I have most of the weapons unlocked in my weapon wheel, so I think there's only one more we need, and I have not seen that yet. But overall, like, even before any, like, pre-launch day patch, it's been running so smooth. So what we'll do is I've made it up to chapter 12. They actually have a chapters menu, which is really interesting because it shows you the percentage of completed. As you can see, I did like a few 100% completions just to like really do as much as I can. I was kind of hoping to have the game finished by now, but it's ended up being much longer than I expected. I'm halfway through the game and I've got about 7.5 hours into this. So it's actually considerably more than I was expecting. It's like, I knew there was 22 levels, but there is like, they're not, I think only one of them was really short. The rest of them are still very sizable. Yeah, so it's absolutely loads to do. And you can add difficulty modifiers as well when you start your mode. I'm playing on ultra violent, so reasonable difficulty without being too easy. And this game has got a difficulty curve. It is challenging. It is not just challenging in the way that Doom has been in the past, because the gameplay has changed considerably. Adding the parry and the more slower, methodical approach changes the way you play this game. This isn't Eternal, which is if you stop moving, you're dead, and overloading you with far too many abilities that you kind of need to maximize your efficiency with. But you can also be really customizable with like how you're playing this. Like the parry window, you can change that. That I thought was a really nice touch. So it's like if you make it smaller, the more precise the timing must be for a successful parry. And it's kind of like in the middle, like, you know, it's not too bad, and like enhanced targeting. So the like even make it a bit easier while still being effectively able to play the game. Doom's always been really good at being accessible to people who just casually want to run and gun and play for the story. And then you've also got the people who want a real challenge, and they can really change you can even change the amount of damage that you take. So you can really customize this, and like for instance on this one, I take 200% damage and I only do 100% damage to demons. I will say, I definitely feel that I've been getting stronger as the game's gone on. I can even speed up the game. Days duration, speed of projectiles, resource values, loads of different things you can do. One thing that needs to be mentioned as well is soundtrack. Now, obviously, previously they had Mick Gordon and co. writing the music for the last two games, and they've become synonymous with it, and then there was a whole kerfuffle. There was a whole back and forth about a few things between Mick Gordon and id Software and Bethesda. So I won't go into what that is. I'm sure you've got a internet access available to you so you can check it, have a look, see what went on. I do want to talk about the actual soundtrack so far. Comparing them is bound to happen, and I have to say, this one's not quite there. They have done... The people they've got doing it is Finishing Move Inc., and they've also been known to do the soundtrack, the music production team behind Borderlands 3 and Halo Wars 2. And it's good. Like, you can hear it now. It's good. It doesn't... It's just not as technical. Like, I feel that Mick Gordon had a flavor to it. And it's like replacing a singer of a very famous... Like, it's like trying to replace Ozzy Osbourne. Nobody can sing like Ozzy Osbourne. It's like nobody can sing like Bruce Dickinson, Iron Maiden. Hey, like, it's always going to be different. It's still going to have that still going to feel the same, but it's not going to be the same. And that's kind of what this has done. I've not really paid as much attention. It hasn't like gripped me as much as the previous Doom, so there is that, but they've got to work with what they've got, and it definitely still... I'm not sure unless they got like... I'm not sure they could have done better. So, yeah, I think that's like a fair assessment of it. So what we're going to do is I'm not going to jump into where I'm at because I don't want to jump in and give anyone too many spoilers or anything like that. I'm going to keep this video very spoiler free for the most part, but I will talk about the campaign, thoughts of it so far. I will release a full review in the same kind of vein like this one once I've completed it, but it wouldn't be fair to like pass any real judgment, like scoring anything as yet, because, and we'll skip the cutscene for those, because it would be really unfair to those that are really wanting to go in blind but also still want to find out about the game. The little classic Doom guy head in the middle is fantastic. So the changing of this game, the massive thing they've done is they've added so much change to the gameplay. So we've got our shield. The shield is the star of the show of this game. Absolutely is. And the design is built around that. I will say, those that have been trying to compare this to Dark Souls, it's just wrong. It's just wrong. You have the ability to parry, doesn't make it Dark Souls. Absolutely doesn't. This game is still, each boss that you come up against and want to challenge is still very much the... You have to figure out the patterns of their attacks, and it's... Honestly, this game just kind of holds your hand quite aggressively on how far you want to actually... Like, how much it tells you. For instance, the green is parryable. And as you can see, it's not exactly a small window. Like, it tells you clearly this is a parry, and even on the range of it. So it does change up like how you're going to approach this game. But there is a ton of upgrades, which we'll look at in a bit. But yeah, the game, like, every enemy is relatively readable. One of my favorite weapons actually has been the pulverizer, which is the one between the shield and the marketing, it's been kind of good. So, for instance, the red markers are, we can block, that's great, but we can't, like, parry. Doesn't work. Shield enemies are a little bit tougher, because you actually have to... Pulverizer is really not doing the job right now. Like, you get it to red. Yeah, that's it. So these ones, it just kind of lets you walk through them. And yes, I am doing my best Captain America impression. And as you can see, it's charging. So that's an ability that we have in the menus, which I will go through the menu shortly. But you also have a lot of uses for it, like break locks. So this is where it starts going, right. So what you need to do is you need to shoot these shields enough so they go red, then you can pop it, and then they all pop together because they have like an explosive effect. And as you'll see, I have a maul as well. The maul is one of the melee upgrades. So as you go through the game, you will find, go to the weapons first, I think. So your shield has its own upgrade path. And once you get later on, you actually have, you start off with a power fist, you can upgrade that. There's a few things that you can do, and then you get, well, is this the, oh no, so this is just the shield, sorry. So this one's just the shield, and the shield has multiple upgrades, but you have different ways, like this one, unleash a swarm of ethereal daggers, that spread out and seek towards the enemy demons, but the upgrade that I'm liking at the moment is summon a ground splitting fissure that travels in front of you, damaging and faltering demons in your path, so it staggers them a little bit more. I found that to be really useful. I kind of like this more, but then you've got like a bunch of different upgrades as you go through. I will talk about the currencies in a minute, but yeah, you have a power fist as your like starting melee, and it does have a charge, so you can't just melee your way through this game. But then it gave me the mace, or the flail. Yeah, it's a flail, not a mace. Oh god, we get flamed for that one. But it's, they've all got their own little abilities as well. Like this one can scorch enemies and they drop armor, or you can have it so that they, if you get one a bit better, like you could drop health, whichever. Like there's so many different ways to go about it. Where is the, also the, we'll go for collectibles in a minute. But yeah, so those are the general upgrades. Now, the one thing that Doom has already kind of become a bit of a staple for is that throughout, as you're playing, they have collectibles. So you get your little figures and so on. And they're pretty easy to find. The one thing it does is it kind of holds your hand a little bit too much on secrets. Like you look at the map, see an area that's not explored, and it will have a question mark there. And you'll be like, oh, so there's something there. And it will lead you to it. And I found them all relatively easy to find for the most part, as long as I check my map enough. And it's been pretty okay. I can't really complain too much about it. Good thing as well, you can like launch yourself forward with the shield, and the one thing that's really good with that is that it also works for going vertical. So you can find yourself going, oh, I want to get up there. Cool. And if they're on another level, you will go to them, which is fantastic. And then you're like, because this game is not as traversable as Doom Eternal, you have an awful lot of different options. Yeah, that is a big boy. Such as, when you sprint, you get a much longer jump, so you can actually reach further than you have been able to. Like you'll see here, there's like a secret in there. I've already done the secret, so I will let you find them on your own. But the one thing that they've done as a little twist for this, and this is where we'll talk about collectibles. In the top right corner, you'll see the green mark. And what they are called. Oh god, I can't even remember what they're called. Ah, god. Oh, it'll come to me. What they do is the helmet, is they're basically like a second life. So if you get into a fight where you're going to end up dead, so I'll let them kill me here. I think it's a sigil. Might be a sigil. So they'll get critical health and life sigil. Yeah, so basically you can use one. You can hold up to 3, at least I can at the moment. And you can basically respawn. I'm shamefully going to admit that I've actually had to use that far more than I would like to admit. Another cool thing is that when you land on the ground, you let off a... That was really pathetic, that one. Let me go up again. I want to show that again. Oh, it's the wrong way. So we'll break that. Climb the wall. So if we jump off here, it lets out a shockwave and just cannon fodder. And imps, usually, like basic imps, they will just get absolutely demolished, and it means that you are not dealing with the fodder as much. But as you see there, another cool thing about the shield. See, we can't block that. I can block it, but I can't parry it. But we can do that, so there becomes a stun, and then we can flail him. Melee again. But we can keep flailing him until he decides he's had enough. But we've exhausted our melee. So this is what I mean about, like, you've actually got to be quite picky about your melee and how much you're using. But if you're really stuck and you don't want to... You can also stun them by throwing a shield, and it just hacks away in their chest. It's really, really... Like, they've given you a lot of tools for the slower kind of gameplay. It does get faster, and it does get quite overwhelming. But, as you see, you can move quite quickly and have no real issues at all. But yeah, playing on the difficulty I've had a good time with it, but I haven't really struggled too much. There's like some other really cool traversal abilities you'll get later with a shield that actually are really good for finding the secrets and just getting around the map. So that's another thing as well that's really good. Like, if you feel like you're in danger, you can just kind of lock onto an imp or whatever and just dash out the way. And it's got quite a range on it as well. Let's try out some of the weapons. Yep, let's bring out the pulverizer. So this does absolutely... it's more wide range. So when you've got a lot of enemies in front of you, it will just have a huge spread. So you get right in close and you can just demolish singular enemies. The weapon variety hasn't really done much in the way to reinvent the wheel, apart from the wheel itself. Yes, I was waiting to use that pun. I know, shame on me. But the good thing as well, instead of feeling like you have to press like left bumper and D-pad to sort of change up your weapons or use grenades, there's no grenades in here. Just pressing the X button or square button, I can then change to the secondary, which in this case is the double barrel. And that's the same with a few of the other weapons, such as we've got the energy gun. And that's really good for shields. And you can just change it around and play with the playstyle you like. The weapon variety is really good to adapt to what you want to play. It isn't really, as I say, reinventing the wheel. There's, you know, the rocket launcher, the plasma gun, the chain gun-esque, which is between the pulverizer and the impaler, the shotgun. The chainshot's an interesting gun, but I'm not going to show you that. I want you to... It will be good when you find it yourself. I haven't used it that much, I'll be honest, but it's a thing. So yeah, there's an awful lot you can do with this. Now, currency. So there are, what we can see up here is a shrine. And if we make our way over there, that is your upgrade station. Currency that you have for that. Ah, there we go. So the currency you have here is you have a couple. And it's really good at like having a little marker of what you can spend and where you can spend it. So you've got the yellow tokens, which is gold. That is your main currency for upgrades throughout this game. You see, I haven't really changed shot that much. I've got a few upgrades going on throughout a lot of the different weapons, shields specifically. So that's where like you get the ricochet, or you can have a pin cushion through the shredder. Yeah, different shotgun abilities like tough armor. Armor is a real big thing in this game. You have to navigate around that. So they're not just like giant sponges. There's more a tactical way to take on these. But it doesn't really change too much throughout the game. So we want to look at like the shield, for example. I want to get like the last one. But that's going to cost me the red. It's an amulet. And those are other collectibles as well. The later game. And then the purple ones I've only just got to. So. And these are all part of your secrets throughout the game as you play. So I'm going to leave that one. And then if we go for, say, hold A to purchase. Demons hit by the groundfish are also scorched and drop armor. So we could upgrade our armor, or we could upgrade our mace. Metal shields, and this also generates armor. So I think that that's actually very helpful. So I'll go with that. Wonderful. And these are the like you've got upgrades across the board, and it doesn't feel like you're drowning in menus, upgrades, and weapons, which I feel is kind of nice. Because the last few games, well, the last game I felt like it was just a bit too much going on. And then you've got like as well, like throughout the map, tells you where like the yellow icons is like gold resources, tells you how much gold's in the map. The map is so informative. Sometimes a bit too informative, such as you see here. That question mark is telling me there is a secret there. That's the one I've missed. But it's also kind of telling me how to get there, which doesn't really make it too much of a too difficult, which is fine if you want that. So what we'll do, and it still does the old key cards and everything you want to, the normal tropes that Doom has to offer with the key cards and health packs. It doesn't do anything outside of this is a video game and that's okay, which is what is great, because this is the game that you want to pick up, run a gun, shoot, and unwind after a day of work. So we'll move on to the story. The story itself is nothing that reinvents the wheel again. It's kind of just a bit more of the same. It is like a prequel as such, so there's a lot going on. There is like the story's been interesting enough, but level by level you are just basically a tool of against hell. It doesn't do anything crazy that Doom hasn't done so far. I'm on chapter 12. There's 22 of them. I'm interested enough, but this is, I feel, like a good game for someone who has just had a long week, wants to boot up for 20 minutes, even, and just to try and unwind after work, run and gun, do some shooting, do some collectibles, not have to think about it too much. And also, you get a story to go along with it that you pay enough attention to. There's another ability you can do, which is ramming walls. Why we picked an early level. So one of the cool things you do get later on is the dragon, which is okay. I didn't actually find it that fun. Like, it breaks up the level. The levels I've done in the dragon have broken up the gameplay loop that I've been doing of just running around shooting stuff and pressing buttons. You do a lot of pressing buttons. You have now activated that lock. You picked up that key. You've opened the door. Objectives don't get much more complicated than any Doom game you've played before. Here we go. And skirmish. Beautiful. As you can see as well, like, Well, I'll carry on with the story. The story does the same old pick up keys, go through the level, kill enemies, kill waves of enemies. They introduce new enemies as you go through, which a lot of it is like different takes on older enemies. I think I wish there was a little bit more variety in it. But at the same point, I'm only halfway through the game, so it has gone on a bit longer than I was expecting. I thought this would be I thought I'd be further in the game so far. But apparently not. Which again, I'll never complain at like having more to play. See, that parry didn't stick. Trying to play and commentate at the same time is tricky, but it's not too bad. Yeah, you know, if you're a Doom fan, this is a ideal game for you. You will enjoy more Doom. Like the previous games run exceptionally well. Graphically, I've had no issues at all. Again, this is pre-release, so there might be a pre-release patch, but the graphics of like the cutscenes have been pretty good. The like lighting reflections. Again, I'm playing at 4K and I'm not like max settings. And what can I see my? I think we can turn on the stats. I think it was stats. Oh, UI would be. I think I did see it here. Maybe not. Subtitles. Is it not under graphics? I swear I'd seen something along these lines. Video. There we go. Performance metrics. Let's turn them on. Medium? Fine. No. Oh, I can't even see that. Hello? Okay. So yeah, constant, at the moment it seems to be constant 60 FPS. See how we navigate when we get in a fight. Seems to be relatively staying at 60 FPS. Also, one thing to note is glory kills have been toned right down, which I'm all for, because they ended up just taking up so much time, and it was really jarring when you get a rhythm. So you get the rhythm, you're running around, and then you get stuck in an animation, you feel like you've got to reset. Yeah, no more of that, but you can still do glory kills in a sense. I was hoping to pull it off on that one, but all you have to do is like kind of jump on them and you'll do like a shield execution. There are special enemies that you fight to get health upgrades, and they're usually much more difficult than normal enemies. They're kind of optional, but all of them I've come across, some have not been, and some have been just right next to me, so there was really no point not fighting them. Yeah, 60 FPS across the board, not had any issues. Once again, id Software have developed a very clean game, let's say, with the graphics, and there's a lot of particle effects happening at the same time. So, it's been good. I've been thoroughly enjoying it so far. I think the best way to look at this is, if you like Doom, you will enjoy this. If you want a casual game to play and you have Game Pass, this is, I think if you have Game Pass, this is definitely a must. So far, it's been good. The story has been enjoyable. It's hard to go into it. I will break down that more once we get a bit once I do the final review of the game. You can even parry some of the wall. Ah, see. Missed that. Missed some gold by not parrying that. yeah, for shooter fans, this is going to be a must play. There isn't any PvP, so that is not something. Let's try and... Ah, I didn't get him. Go on. No, he just died. No PvP, which I'm kind of glad, because the PvP was interesting, but it never lasted. Like, whenever they were doing it, it just would never last long, and it would be a bit of a waste of resources, because if people aren't playing it, then what's the point? Okay, so we'll sort of wrap this up here. But what I'll be doing is I'll be finishing this game off over on Twitch, so check out twitch.tv/cheddarpaul. I've played most of the game off stream so far because of embargoes, and hopefully this will go live within the next few hours of the game coming out. So yeah, let me know what you think of the game if you're picking it up, and let me know what you disliked about the game. This is my first time doing a video review, or like a first look kind of thing like this. Like, if we see more of it, I'm also playing Expedition 33, so we'll see about that as well. But yep, I'm cheddarpaul. Hope you have a good evening and enjoy Doom, and I shall catch you in the next one.